Hello, my name's Cameron. I don't just read comics, I love them, and welcome back to another episode of Cameron Reads Comics. You're zoomed out, and I have a new mic set up for these unboxing videos that I've been doing. So I kind of just got this big old box. It's a CGC box, all my comics from San Diego Comic-Con because it's huge. Should have at least like 19 books, I think, is in this box. So we're just going to unbox them. You may have seen some of these books before. I don't have... Honestly, it's already like open. So it's like open like this, but not to the middle. So I'm just going to rip this tape. You may have seen... There you go. Right in the mic. You may have seen some of these books before. But yeah, they're mine. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, there's two containers like this. Sorry I hit the mic. You can see they're completely wrapped around like this. Again, a huge submission. I've never mailed this many slabs at once. So we are just gonna... We're gonna put the slab face down like this. We're just gonna go for it. Okay, so I hate to break it to you guys already, but I know the grades on all these books because I submitted them. First book, JOELLE 169, signed by KLAUS JANSON. This is, I'm toxic. This is my favorite, one of top, if not my first or second favorite issue from this run. 8.0 because it's beat. One of the staples is like not working on this. So 8.0, JOELLE 169. In that issue, Bullseye sees the entire city of New York as Daredevil. One of my keys from that run. One of my favorite issues. So there you go. Daredevil 169, second appearance of Elektra. Here you go. Okay, next up. Suicide Squad number 1, CGC 9.6. Signed now by Tom Taylor, or Bruno Redondo and Tom Taylor. I think this is the run they did before Nightwing. I think it is one of the best runs they've ever done. So I think it's the most underrated. One of the first appearances of Wink and Airy, two characters that Tom Taylor used in this, not in the Nightwing run, but in the Superboy, Superman, Son of Kal-El run. Next up, another Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, CGC 9.8, Nightwing number 78, signed by both. I'm so glad I have this in a 9.8. The run is now coming to a conclusion. I will record a review video. But there we go. Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo signed their best work, in my opinion. Nightwing. Next up, Flash Rebirth, number 1. CGC 9.6, signed by Josh Williamson. I'm so glad to have this book signed by Josh Williamson. He signed it in red, so you can't see it very well. That makes sense, though. It's a Flash book. But yeah, one of the best books in the run. It's like the early stuff. That came out, I'm pretty sure, the same week as Flash number 1 of his run. So I'm like, I think that's technically his first work on the Flash. We're counting it. Huge successful story, huge successful run. Josh Williamson on Flash. Carmine Giandomenico on art. I don't think that's the first appearance of... Is it the first appearance of Godspeed? First appearance of Godspeed and cameo. First appearance of August Hart. I'll count it. CGC 9.6. Not bad. I found this in a dollar bin. And I have like 4 copies of it. So there we go. It's some sort of first appearance. Next up, Daredevil 600. 9.6 grade with a remark head sketch by KLAUS JANSON. It is one of my favorite books. Like, I think I love Frank Miller's Daredevil, but I recently got a sketch. And I actually didn't even film a video of it because I was let down by the sketch. I paid more money for that sketch than I've ever paid. A Frank Miller remark of Daredevil, because Frank Miller's Daredevil is my favorite run. With KLAUS JANSON. So a lot of these books are also like books I've submitted before, but now signed by KLAUS JANSON. So I was like, okay, when I met him, I was like, I want a Daredevil sketch by you. I left it with him. I got this. One of my favorites. One of the most important people I've ever met. I got to tell him I just love him. And this is such a cool sketch. This is like $150 for that. I will never sell that ever. Okay, wait. There's my Frank Miller Daredevil sketch that I didn't post a video of because Low-key, it disappointed me, and it took forever to get here. Wonder Woman #1 Facsimile Edition. This is a sketch variant with a Wonder Woman sketch by the one and only Daniel Sampere. Ridiculous. CGC 9.8. He was also doing like $150 sketches, and I'm like, I will absolutely buy that. Current Wonder Woman artist, phenomenal, really nice guy. I got the chance to buy him a beer. It was like the greatest joy of my life. But yeah, Daniel Sampere, Wonder Woman sketch, priceless. Never going to get rid of this. I think after this, because this whole run was so expensive to collect and buy and everything, I don't think I'm going to be doing slabs as much anymore, because especially now that they do the JSA stuff. Anyways, my favorite issue of all time, Daredevil 181, 9.2, signed by now KLAUS, JANSON, and Frank Miller. My #1 issue in my entire collection. I'm glad I have a CGC copy. Literally the most valuable book I own. One of my favorites ever of all time. One of the best books in the freaking world. My favorite comic book of all time, now signed by both. I'm going to hang it on my wall. That is now going to replace the Frank Miller sketch. I'm so happy about this book. I love it more than anything. This is my favorite. Now this is probably one of my favorites that I ever owned. So, look at this pile of slabs I have. Daredevil 168. First appearance of Elektra, now signed by Frank Miller and KLAUS, JANSON. Frank Miller signed the lightning bolt in black. You can't see it very well. KLAUS, JANSON signed in white. I think I'm going to try and see if I can get another copy, a cleaner copy. A 5.0 is a little rough for me, but I own it. I just want to make sure that I own these books before these creators pass away, because they keep on passing away. That's literally my motivation. I'm so glad to have met them. Oh, and now probably one of the more valuable books in the same vein, I think, for Daredevil Keys. First appearance of Bullseye, 6.0, signed by Marv Wolfman, the creator, writer, and KLAUS, JANSON. I believe he was the inker on this book. KLAUS, JANSON art. Again, I'll never sell this. One of my favorite covers, too. Just a great, gorgeous book. 6.0 grade. That's okay. Daredevil 168. Key. All of my freaking favorite Daredevil books now. Like, Frank Miller's Daredevil run. I can't emphasize enough. My favorite run of all time. Okay. Ultimate Spidey, #1. Or Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, #1. Signed by Tom Taylor. Low-key, one of the best Spider-Man runs that nobody read. I don't know why people aren't reading Tom Taylor. A lot of people say it's because of his politics, but I'm like, this isn't even political. It's just really good. It's just feel-good Spider-Man books, and that's all I want. Great book. Okay, next up, Wonder Woman #1. Ooh, 9.0. Ooh, the newest run, signed by Tom King and Daniel Sampere. I bought this secondhand. I don't know why it's in. Okay, I see a staple bend. I see a little bit of dirt. Okay, maybe I don't disgrade, but great run. Love the series. Signed by both now. Excellent. Tom King. Signed by Tom King. If I said Tom Taylor, I didn't mean it. Okay. Batman #1, New 52. The run that got me back into comics. First run I got a pull list with. Batman #1, signed by Scott Snyder. CGC 9.6. First print. This was gifted to me by my comic book shop. He is such a kind guy. I've met Scott and Greg multiple times, and they're such nice guys. When I got this signed, I told Scott, I'm really excited for... There we go. I told Scott I'm really excited for his freaking Absolute Comics stuff, because I think it's going to be really freaking good. So I told him, I was like, I wasn't into it at first, frankly, but after your panel, I'm really into it. And I love this run. So he deserves all my respect and my love. There you go. He gets this spot now. Then we have Superman #6. Okay, sketch variant, Superman #6. The first book I gave to Daniel Sampere. And he did a great job. He did such a great job on this. And then I was like, can I get another? And he said, oh, yeah. It was on like Saturday or Friday. Can I get another? Oh, yeah, sure. That's when I asked for the Wonder Woman. So literally just go read Philip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics run. I have a video coming out about that soon. I recorded it earlier today. And then you'll get why I want him on Superman all the time. He's so good. And I love his art. I'll CGC for the art, but I don't know about the signatures anymore because I'm like, this was so much more money than I anticipated. And it's too easy for me now that I know how it works. It's just not like, it's just not financially feasible. And it's about, I used to think it was about the signatures, but it's not. It's about these interactions with these creators. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't know if I care. Like, it's too much money. But I feel very fortunate to have these books that I own now. So, anyways, Batman 145 with a remark signed by Bruno Redondo. I gave him a... This was on preview night. I didn't know they'd be signing at their booth. It wasn't scheduled. And so Tom Taylor was there. Got to talk to him for a second. Bruno Redondo was there. I was like, I love you. I was so glad I get to meet you now. He's never in town. So I got this one signed by him. And I said, can I get a remark? And he said, I only do mask. And I said, well, okay, I'll take the mask. Original art, Bruno Redondo, $100. CGC 9.8. There are like no Nightwing sketch variants, so that's what I got. Okay, next up is a spec book. One of the more expensive books in my collection now, but I love it. Young Avengers #1, signed by Jim Cheung. I love Jim Cheung. I have original art by Jim Cheung. This is one of the best runs ever, and like Marvel deserves a book like this more frequently. Alan Heinberg, Jim Cheung. They're doing a series of it now. It's basically confirmed. So it is a bit of a spec, but I'm also like, I love this book. So thank you. I have it now. Speaking of teenagers and books that I love, Robin #1, signed by Josh Williamson. Signed in red, so it looks pretty cool. I freaking love Josh Williamson. Wow, big sidekick haul. I love Josh Williamson so much, and I thought this was a little run. I actually did a review on it. It's a little run that is so good. It had no right being as good as it was, and I just loved it. It became my favorite book in my pull list every single week. And so did I need to get this slabbed, I realize? No. Am I stoked as a CGC 9.8? Yes. Now I'm signed by the writer who I love? Yeah. This is what turned me on to Josh Williamson. So now you know. It's a great book, great run. Next up, Batman 615, signed by Jeff Loeb. This was my favorite cover growing up. It's perfect Jim Lee, perfect Batman, perfect Nightwing. I don't even care that it's a Hush book. Is it the first appearance of anything? It's the issue where Batman reveals his identity to Selena Kyle. So Dick and him have this great interaction. I think you should shave. I'm not going to shave. Catwoman says, you should have shaved. Great series. One of the first series that ever even got me into comic books. I love it. I've read it a million times. Literally one of the first trades I ever had. So Jim Lee on Batman, amazing. It's just everything a comic book should be. I got this book probably in 2017. That's how long it's been in my boxes. So 9.0, I'm okay with it. I have it. I own it. Jim Lee will sign it one day. It is mine, and I love it. Very personal book to me. I remember the poster that was at the comic shop I used to go to, and I never bought it, but I wanted it. Ooh, big slab. Catwoman 80th anniversary with a Catwoman sketch by Joelle Jones. Yeah, I love Joelle Jones. I love her Catwoman. I actually got to talk to her. I have a video of this sketch happening, so there you go. Joelle Jones on Catwoman, one of my favorite freaking Catwoman artists. She's amazing. Currently on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, written by Jason Aaron, I believe, at the time of this recording. Yeah, wanted to get that. I was like, the way I think about the sketches is like there's certain artists, there's certain creators who I want sketches from. And if I know they're going to be there, I know who I want to sketch by them from. Like if I meet David Mazzucchelli, I have no idea. I think I'm going to have to get a Batman by him. But like Frank Miller, I wanted Daredevil. Jim Cheung, I wanted The Thing. Aaron Cooter, I wanted The Thing. Joel Jones, I want the Catwoman. Jorge Jimenez, a million characters, but I want your Batman. Like that's how it goes. Maybe next up is Superman. But like that's how I think about it. And so I was like, oh, she's going to be there. I really want a Catwoman by Joelle Jones. Now I have one. I love it. And it's 9.8. That's cool too. The grades don't matter. Now I've authenticated witnessed art, which is kind of more important to me. Lastly, last book in the whole collection, Batman 608, CGC 9.2, first arc, part 1 of the Hush storyline, Batman 608, first print. So it's not the very famous cover, but it's a great cover. I met Jeff Loeb, got to have an interaction with him. He sketched a little Joker on it for me. Great. They asked me if I wanted to sketch, and I was like, sure, whatever, dude. You're Jeff Loeb. I love you. I love you. So there we go. Freaking 19 book CGC unboxing. Biggest CGC box. Biggest, most packing material I've ever had. I feel very fortunate to have gone to San Diego Comic-Con this year. Never will I ever spend this much money ever again on CGC slabs until I can actually afford it and it's justifiable. But yeah, there we go. My name's Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. Maybe write down, tell me your favorite slab. I think mine is going to be Daredevil 181, signed by Klaus Janson and Frank Miller, shortly followed by the Klaus Janson Daredevil sketch I now own. A sentence I never thought I'd say out loud. All the original art is so cool. Like Daniel Sampere, Superman, and Wonder Woman on those covers. Oh my gosh. All right. Now I'm going to go eat dinner. But yeah. Nice to see you guys. See you next time.